Hi, I'm Movie Man. I'm an octopus who reviews movies, and today's review is going to be on. So, I knew that this movie was out, and this film premieres at the Toronto International Film Festival, there last September, right, and yeah, it is, kind of made premiere at like some other kind of festivals, and it seems to just be getting kind of limited releases in certain areas and stuff. Yeah, and I mean the response for this one was generally positive. I did see kind of some people saying they weren't big fans of it, but the general consensus for this one seemed to be that, it was pretty good. This film was opening up in Ireland there on February 28th. So yeah, I decided that I'd go and I would give this movie a watch for myself once I got the chance to see it. This movie did look quite interesting to me from the trailers. Obviously this movie stars Pamela Anderson and kind of mirrors Pamela Anderson's career a bit and stuff. Like that, so I did find that kind of interesting. I know this movie is directed by Coppola, who, obviously, as you can tell from her last name, she is a member of the Coppola family. She's Francis Ford Coppola's granddaughter. But yeah, I haven't really seen any of her previous films. Though she's done like two other movies before that I haven't seen. But yeah, now she's here with her latest movie, The Last Showgirl. As I said, this movie looks quite interesting to me. I was, interested to give it a watch. So I went to see this movie a few days back there now. And having seen The Last Showgirl for myself now, what did I think of it? Overall, I have to say that I didn't love the movie. I still thought for what it was pretty good. Yeah, I enjoyed it enough for what it was. Now getting kind of further into my thoughts, first off, I have to say the cinematography in this film is honestly really good. I do like the way that this movie is shot. This movie is actually shot pretty nice. It's not exactly like a big budget camera or anything that they have working on them, but it's actually like solid camera work. It's kind of hard for me to describe, but I honestly generally kind of like, the way that this movie is shot. I just think they make the movie look really nice, kind of, very visually pleasing. And of course, since this movie is set in Las Vegas, and we have all these shots of all these showgirls and kind of all these big kind of flashy outfits and stuff. I do think the movie does a good job of kind of getting really the whole kind of look of Las Vegas. I do think it's actually pretty nice to look at, and yeah, overall I just have to say I think in general it's just a well shot movie, and yeah, I generally just quite like, the look of it and stuff. So overall, I would say the cinematography in the movie is quite good. In terms of the film's editing, now, I think overall the editing is alright. Like, I mean, like, since this movie isn't really, kind of going for, like, a full on kind of narrative, like, the movie is kind of edited to where, we're kind of just, showing, like, a bunch of these different scenes, but I think it's honestly pretty nicely done, like, it's not exactly amazing to me, but, like, I think the movie is edited well enough. We get like a general vibe of everything, and I think like we're able to follow the movie along well enough. To where like I overall just think it's decently edited, and particularly I think like the ending of the movie. I won't give away the ending, obviously, but I thought the way the movie ended in particular was actually quite good for like how it was edited and stuff. Yeah, I have to say overall, the editing was pretty solid. In terms of the pacing, like this movie is not very long. Like, I'm pretty sure this movie is under 90 minutes, so yeah, it's not really a very long movie. And yeah, I think the movie does pretty solid with its runtime. Like, this really isn't the kind of movie that I think needs to be that long, and yeah, I think they're pretty much aware of that here with this kind of short enough runtime. And I think they do pretty well with this. Like it doesn't really feel like a very long movie. Like I think it goes by it, kind of a quick enough breeze. Like I wouldn't say it goes by too quickly. Try it kind of overlooks things. I think like it's paced well enough. Like I think really the only issue that I would have with the pacing is that I just feel like maybe the movie could have been like a tad bit longer. For like I think like if we actually got to see a bit more of this show that they perform, because we hear a lot about the show and it plays a huge part in like the movie, but we don't really get to see it for a lot. So I feel like maybe we actually could have gone to see the show a bit more, so like that we get like a better idea of things and stuff. But really other than that, I would say the pace here was pretty much alright for what the movie needed, but I still just feel like maybe it just could have been like a tad bit longer. In terms of the sounds and music, I would say that overall the movie has a pretty solid score. Like I think like the score for this movie pretty much just generally, kind of fits for what the movie needs. Like since this is honestly kind of a sad enough film, I think it overall just kind of works for like what the film needs. And also there is a song in this movie called Beautiful That Way, which is sung by Miley Cyrus. I think it's a good song. It definitely does, fit for the movie, and Yeah, it's a good song. I'd recommend you go and give it a listen because it's actually pretty solid. Yeah. So I think overall I would say that the sound and music in the movie is pretty good. Um. Now, in terms of the characters and the acting, obviously we have our main character in this movie, Shelley, who was of course the titular last showgirl. And Shelley does make for a solid protagonist. Obviously, the whole movie is pretty much, carried by her character. She pretty much is, the central focus of this narrative. Because it's all about her character and this whole kind of struggle that she has to go through. Yeah, I definitely think, her character pretty much just kind of was, what really kind of made this film. Throughout the movie, you just kind of feel a bit bad for her character with, how she's just like getting older and like she's not seen as, like all that beautiful and stuff anymore for what people are kind of looking for and stuff. Like, yeah, and as I've already mentioned, she's of course played by Pamela Anderson, and kind of given how like Pamela Anderson's career and stuff, and how like she hasn't really been offered like as many roles in the past recent years and stuff as like she used to back in like say the 90s or so. Yeah, I think this definitely pretty much was, the perfect choice to play this character. And to be honest, I think she does it really well. Like she definitely does do a very good performance, and yeah, I think like she definitely did understand this character, especially with how this character kind of mirrors her a bit. She definitely did do a solid job in this. So overall, I think she was pretty good. I think overall the supporting cast were quite solid as well. Like we have quite a few notable names in the supporting cast. Like we also have Jamie Lee Curtis in this. She plays Annette, who is this like cocktail waitress and a former showgirl, and who is like Shelley's best friend. I know Jamie Lee Curtis actually did get some awards recognition for this performance. I mean, I can kind of see why, because I also do think she does pretty well in this, like for the screen time that her character gets. Like the character herself, I thought was overall decent enough. I don't know if I would exactly call the performance like full on like awards worthy, but I thought she did a good job in this. Like there's also some other characters too, like these two much younger showgirls named Josie and Marianne, who are like friends of Shelley's. They perform alongside her, and they're played respectively by Kiernan, Shipka, and Brenda Song. I liked the two of them as well. Like I thought they honestly had like good chemistry with Shelley, and like I think kind of the whole like banter between these actresses was actually quite good. I definitely like enjoyed a lot of the scenes when like some of these characters were kind of having banter with each other and stuff. Yeah, I liked the two of them, like especially the character of Josie, played by Kiernan Shipka. Like, I won't lie, her character actually got some genuine laughs out of me. I definitely liked her. And like, there's also her daughter Hannah, who is played by Billie Lourd, and like, there's kind of this whole subplot with like how like the two of them kind of have a bit of a strange relationship because she kind of feels that her mother was a little kind of neglectful and stuff. I won't get like too much into it, just kind of for the sake of spoilers, but I actually did like this subplot, like with her character. It honestly was intriguing and it was actually like pretty well written, and I thought Billie Lourd honestly did like a good job in this role. And then we have Eddie, who is like the producer on this show, the Razzle Dazzle, that that Shelley and the other showgirls perform on. And I did like his character. Like, he was an interesting character with kind of what they do with him. I won't get into it. Of course, he's played by Dave Bautista, who honestly does a good job in this, like pretty much proving like once again that he's like definitely the best wrestler turned actor, because like his performance in this movie, he's very kind of soft spoken and stuff, and he honestly does it pretty well. Yeah, I did like, his performance in this. He was honestly very good. Yeah, overall I would say that I liked the characters and the acting all around was very solid. Like, everyone kind of pretty much doing well in their roles. Like, Pamela Anderson definitely leads the movie really well, but I think all the rest of the cast do really good in this also. So overall, I'd say solid characters and acting all around. In terms of the plot of the movie now, obviously, like in terms of this plot, Shelley has, kind of been a showgirl at this show called Razzle Dazzle all her life, and like she's pretty much devoted majority of her life to this show, but like now, of course, the show is being shut down because it's not like as popular as it used to be, and Shelley's kind of just left, kind of she's wondering, like after the show shuts down, kind of what she's really gonna be able to do next. Like, where does she go in her life from here? Like, it's not really like kind of an actual kind of plot. I feel like the movie is kind of more of like a character study, like of this main character, and how this has basically started to affect her and stuff. Like, it's not like too strong in that department, like in terms of like an actual narrative, but like I think overall, if you do just kind of look at it as, kind of a character study and stuff, like, it is pretty solid. Like, as I said, I was able to get engaged with Shelley's character, and I think, like, the acting from Pamela Anderson and all the rest of the cast, like, kind of definitely really elevated that. Like, I think, like, the acting definitely does carry a lot of this, because, like, I mean, I do think it's like a solid character, so I think that kind of pretty much, what kind of really elevates this film to kind of being as good as it is, because like the movie's not exactly too strong in being like an actual story, but like if you just watch it as kind of just being about like this character and just kind of like following her, she's just kind of wondering, like like what's gonna happen, where is she gonna go from here, it is pretty solid, and like as I mentioned, yeah, like this is definitely kind of a really fitting movie for Pamela Anderson, as it kind of deals with like kind of some of these themes about like aging and stuff, and how like how like, you may have been like beloved in your prime and stuff, but like now you're kind of older, and the world doesn't see you like as beautiful as you were once. Like, it's no surprise whatsoever that this movie has been compared to the substance for these themes. Which, yeah, it's honestly quite obvious to see why, especially like if you've seen the substance, or like if you've seen both these movies, like you definitely understand like the comparisons and stuff. But like, I mean, to be honest, I definitely do think the substance executes this a lot better, but like, I mean, to be fair, it's the substance, so like, what do you really expect? Oh, speaking of which, you should go vote on the Movie Man Awards if you haven't already. But anyway, even though this movie definitely isn't as good as the substance, like, I overall think it's a solid movie in its own right, mainly just like as it's a tragic story kind of about like this woman kind of unraveling because this show that she loves so much is being kind of shut down. Like, as you're just kind of watching her, kind of just trying to see like where she's gonna get in life, and also kind of focusing on her relationship with her daughter and stuff. It's overall pretty solid. As I said, I don't think it's amazing because as I said, I wish we kind of just did get to see a bit more of this show, to where like we get a better idea of how it actually really means to Shelley and the other characters. But overall, I thought the movie was solid enough for kind of what it was trying to portray. So yeah, I thought the plot of the movie was quite good in that regard. And in terms of the narrative structure, as I said, the movie kind of really doesn't have a clear narrative, as it's made just kind of more of a character study of Shelley. But like, as I said, if you just take it for being that, then I think it is pretty engaging. Like, as I said, the performances from Pamela Anderson and the rest of the cast pretty much are what elevates this, what makes this as interesting as it is. Like, as well as the fact that it's just like a well made movie, and like all that regards, like overall I did, enjoy watching this kind of mainly for like kind of just following this character and Anderson's performance. That made it quite solid, but there is like that whole subplot with Shelley and her daughter, and like I think that subplot definitely does, give the movie a bit of gravitas, like definitely does give Shelley a bit more depth to like where we understand things a bit, and I think that whole subplot definitely really did elevate the movie a bit. But as I said, I just do kind of wish we did get to see a bit more of the show, to where we get a better idea of things. But overall, nonetheless, like, well, we didn't exactly have like a clear narrative structure, since it wasn't really like a full on narrative. For what I was trying to do, what I was trying to say, I think they executed it well enough. So, yeah, overall, I would say I had a good time with The Last Showgirl. Like, it was shot well, and there was some good music. As I said, I do like the Miley Cyrus song in this. I liked the characters, I liked the acting, and like, even if it wasn't really like a kind of real plot that the movie has, like, like it did well in terms of just being like a character study of Shelley and like yeah, especially with the way this movie definitely mirrors Pamela Anderson's career. Like it was a solid movie for her. As I said, it's not like a great film or anything. Cause like overall, like as I said, I do think these themes are definitely better executed in the substance. And I said I just wish we got to see a bit more of the show to where we really do get a better idea of why it's so important to these characters. But all that aside, I overall liked the movie enough for what it is. I don't think this is a movie that really everyone is gonna enjoy, but I think if this movie does sound like interesting to you, then I would say it's honestly worth a watch. So overall, I didn't love The Last Showgirl, but for what it was, I thought it was solid. So with all that said, I'm going to give The Last Showgirl a 7 out of 10. So with all that said, I'll see you guys next time, and bye.